All right, so first of all, welcome to the House of Wisdom. Happy New Moon for those of you who know. For those of you who don't know, it's a master class in fear. So today we're going to go through 4 areas. The first one is fear, the consciousness of the month, some fortune telling. Okay, for those of you, I have this theory now, if you can't beat them, join them. So I've resorted to, I'm going to start fortune telling. The second thing is, ما بعرف إذا بتعرفوا إنه House of Wisdom has introduced a new program called SOULFIT. So it's a merger between exercise, astrology, and meditation. So also Patricia will explain to you some of the foods that can help you throughout the month. And also she will take you through exercises that you don't have to do, okay? Just for you to do at home, and the organs that will be mostly affected through this month. So this is like a medical astrology part. So just for you to have an idea of the month. And then we're going to delve deeply into fears and what they are and where they come from. Okay? Is that's clear? All right, so let's get started. All right. So first things first, the choice of fear is not an option. It's actually a story that has to be shared from a teacher. So one of the teachers in the center, she had a lot of problems in her life. So her first problem was anorexia, her second problem was multiple fears, and then she had a child with Down syndrome, and then she had a very complicated delivery. And one day she calls our teacher and she's like, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I can't feel my hands and I can't feel my legs and my tongue is very heavy. So any normal person would say, go to your doctor, you're having a stroke, right? And the Rab is like on the phone and he's like, Monica, listen to me very carefully. Fear is not an option. Yeah, he said, fear is not an option. And fear is one of those things that has absolutely no purpose and serves nothing in your life. Okay? And we're going to go through this right now. Okay, Cancer. Today is the new moon of Cancer. So for those of you who know a little bit about astrology, هذا بدكم يعني احكي بالعربي، احكي كمان بالعربي. كانسر هو البرج السرطان يلي هو البلانت او البلانات يلي بتحكمه هو القمر. القمر هو معروف انه ما عنده نور من تلقاء نفسه، هيدي علميا، يعني هو ما عنده نور بيشع من جواته، هو بياخذ نور من الشمس وباي ذس بالنايت بيكون في ضوء، بس هيدا الضوء منه ضوء القمر. وهيدا الشيء represents the woman, okay? No offense, all women have light of their own, but actually the moon represents the woman, represents the physical reality. The energy of the month is water, internally water. For those of you who don't know what that means, it's all about emotions, right? Every type of emotion that you can possibly have comes out throughout the month of Cancer. بس قبل ما فوت بهيدا الشيء خلينا نحكي شوي عن what is a crab, because you know when in the old times they used to name something, okay, ما كانوا يسموه لانه كثير ذكيه، كانوا يسموه لانه كانوا يشبهوه بالحيوان. So الكراب يلي هو كانسر right هو شايفين الكراب ولا كان لازم نحط صورته؟ اوكي alright. شو اللي بيتميز الكراب فيه؟ اعطوني 3 صفات للكراب. هلا ما بتعرفوا كانه ايموشن ولا ما ايموشن، ما تفوتوا لي بهالشيء. بيمشي بالشو؟ بالعرض، مزبوط. اوكي شو الشغله؟ He has a shell. Okay.
He hides in the rocks.
He hides in the rocks. بيعمل بخش. شو كمان؟ بيلقط بايديه. اوكي شيء ثاني؟
بيخاف. He keeps on hiding.
Okay, so assumption انه he keeps on hiding. That's good. Okay شيء ثاني؟
He takes.
Okay, take that. Okay. What's it? Huh?
It produces very quickly.
I didn't know that. Thank you. All right. I didn't know. Okay, thank you. All right. شي تاني. All right, there's one thing about the crab is that he doesn't see straight. Yeah, he can't see straight. He sees what's going on the side. Okay? So the reality is that fear, right, and emotions do not enable us to see straight. We cannot see straight if we have feelings and emotions. Now, I know that some of you will say, yeah, la, emotions are very real. And for someone who's going through an emotion, it seems like it is very real. Okay? But actually, emotion, we'll get to it, but it's not real. All right? So let's go a little bit more about the crab. Okay, so he doesn't walk straight. He cannot see clearly. All right? We assume that he is fearful. So this is the energy, right, that is actually available to you this month. It's one of those energies that you get in touch very heavily with your emotions. You become highly intuitive, all right, because intuition is based on emotion. So بصورة عندك الشفافية انك تشوفي كل شيء emotions تبع العالم، بتصوري فيك تحسي بالعالم. إذا حدا ما عنده empathy, anybody in Aries?
لا أنا ما في الإنسان.
Okay, so for those of you who are Aries or who have rising Aries or ascendant Aries, it's a good time for you to connect to the crab and start to feel other people's feelings, right? If you're a Leo, it's okay, you don't need to do anything because you know you're just perfect as it is, all right? And if you're a Sagittarius, what can you do? You can fly off to the casino and then you will hit lucky, right? Okay, but actually if you are a fire sign, this is a very good opportunity for anyone who's a fire sign to connect to being empathetic, to be sympathetic, to be compassionate. كل هدول الصفات يلي الفاير signs ما عندهم اياها, this is a good time to connect to that. So what if you're a water sign? Water. بس شو إذا حدا هون Cancer? What sign are you? Taurus. Oh, okay, nice. All right. All right. So it's a combo of Tauruses. Okay.
Sorry, may I say something?
Yes.
The earth signs are full fronted.
With Aries.
What signs are the fire signs?
Fire are Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. Okay, the earth signs are Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgos, right? And water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Okay? All right. So, in the instance that you are being affected by this water energy, this is not just for the Cancer. So all of us are being affected by this excess emotion. All right. So I'm going to fortune tell a little bit about the month and tell you some of the dates that are available to connect throughout this month so that you understand them. Okay. So on the 14th, 15th, and 16th of the lunar month, يعني بعد 14 15 يوم من اليوم, okay, you need to watch out for nervous breakdowns. Okay? Yani the full moon of the Cancer, watching out for nervous breakdowns. Try to actually ask yourself, is this emotion real? Would I feel this in any other circumstances? The flood of water is going to be very, very evident. On the 27th and 26th night, is a very good time to connect to Joseph the Righteous. It's the death anniversary of Joseph the Righteous. For those of you who study the wisdom here at the House of Wisdom, you would know that it's a very good time to connect to the power of dreams, to connect to the power of money, to connect to the power of healing and protection. Right? These are the four things. Okay, Joseph عنده كتير شغلات, but it's dreams. So if you want to enhance your power of dreams, if you want to enhance your power of prosperity, and if you want to enhance your power of protection and healing. Not exactly healing, but protection that
On the 26th
26th night 27th
of عدد July.
مش of July of the lunar calendar. اوكي يلي هو تقريبا هلا بيساق 25 26 لانه نحن اليوم 2nd of July.
يعني
Hey, so it's very close. Okay. Another thing that we have to be clear about, okay, is that throughout this month you will have problems with your digestion, right? This is something to watch out for. This will be a sensitive part in you, and that doesn't just come from the food, it will come from ideas. You will find that you're being dished new information, new ideas that you will find very difficult to assimilate, especially the first 7 days. هلا يعني starting from today until the next 7 days. Hey, if you are from the fire signs, you need to watch aggression because your sadness is going to come out in an aggressive mode. If you're a water sign, watch out for depression. If you're an earth sign, you're lucky, all right? And if you're a water sign, we already said what it is. Air signs are not being affected as much, right? You're all affected by the energy, but not as much. Okay, that's it. All right, so, okay. But it's being recorded, so we can send it. Okay. Any questions about this? Okay, so هذا بده يعني بعد فوت تفاصيل on a political level, on a political level. Okay, there will be a lot of threats concerning Middle Eastern countries. Europe, okay, so, all right. There will be threats in the Middle Eastern countries, specifically the countries that will be affected are 3, right? Iran, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, and of course, as with everything, Lebanon. These 3 countries will be under severe threat. Lebanon, not necessarily for bombings and chaos, but for instability. Many people on the roads, a lot of revolution, but it's gonna succumb to nothing. Okay? Succumb to nothing. ما بصير شيء. Okay? On all cases, ما حيصير شيء. Right? Okay. So this is one of the things. On an economic level, they're going to find an actual solution to some of the economic problems within the month of Cancer. Specifically, after the full moon, there will be an opening that has to do financially, especially with countries that are like Lebanon, and Turkey. Those 2 countries are going to have some opening financially. All right? Does anybody want me to more fortune tell? Well,
Yeah.
all right. I'll do one more thing and then that's it. Okay? One more thing. In relation to finding alternatives to energy, right? Alternatives to energy, there will be an opening actually for this month in Lebanon. They have the alternatives, but it will be more progressed. One, يعني حلول للكهرباء حلول للغاز. Okay? And the final thing, you will find that the seed of this is now, but it will manifest later on. They are going to start finding certain things for the environment and solutions to the environment. The seed will be now, but you will see its effect later on. Yeah? بكفي التبصير. Please في خلاص I beat them, يعني I joined them for a little bit. I don't like doing this at all. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about the dominant type of emotions this month, which are love, fear, and regret. Okay? These are the most dominant type of emotions that you will experience this month. The secret is that we know that Cancer, or Tammuz is actually the seed of everything that has to do emotionally. عم تفهموا علي? Yeah, you're good? You're okay? All right. So actually, the seed of most of our emotions come from love, fear, and regret. Let's talk about love. And I've summarized them. Okay? يعني فينا نفوت بتفاصيل كتير فيهم بس ما بدي فوت هلا بتفاصيل. Love, there's 2 types of love. Okay? One is love that I do for you and you do for me. Is this good love?
Conditional.
Is this good love? No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work in the long run. It doesn't work in the short run. It's simply not love. Okay? Anything that is conditional, that I love you because you are like this, just simply does not work. So what's the second type of love that we have? Unconditional love. What does unconditional love really mean? هل does it mean إنه أنا بصير ممسحة؟ حدا يعطيني an example of unconditional love. Mom's love is unconditional, absolutely.
Creator's love. He gives.
Creator's love, okay.
The nature's love.
Unconditional love means that regardless of what you do, I am still going to act and be a beacon of sharing, regardless of what it is. يعني ما في شروط. And while this is easy intellectually, it's never possible, because if this is that easy, we wouldn't be in this mess, right? So understanding that unconditional love comes from, even if you reciprocate the love or not, even if you love me or not, even if you notice me or not, even if you give me the instant gratification, the recognition, everything, I would still do this regardless for you. And this is the question you have to ask this month. When you feel love, okay? When you feel love, are you doing this? When the feeling of love comes up, ask yourself, am I doing this conditionally? So this is one of the tools, هيدا الشهر. Ask yourself, am I doing this conditionally or not? لأنه إذا عم نعملها conditionally, okay, we will not reap any benefits. If we're doing it unconditionally, we will reap benefits. What about fear? We will go into depth about fear. But في three types of fear. Fear that is silly, fear that is necessary, and fear that is real. And we will go in depth into these, and it's going to be an entire workshop. The silly fear are fears like أنا بخاف من الصرصور. صرصور وأنا بخاف منه. Okay? A silly fear is I have a fear of standing on the balcony. I have a fear from eating bananas. I have a fear of walking down the street. These are all silly fears. Is a phobia a silly fear? A phobia is a condensed feeling and emotion, right? And fear that is really, really, really amplified. Is it considered silly? You have to ask yourself, how subjective is your phobia? And if it is subjective, we will go through this, but it's actually a silly fear, yes. All right? Then there's the necessary fear. The necessary fear is like, أنا بخاف من النار. Okay, طب ما النار بتحرق. This is a fact. Okay, أو أنا مثلا بخاف من الموت. أنا بخاف من المرض. أنا بخاف من الكارما. خوف من الكارما is a very important خوف, right? I want to talk a little bit about the consciousness of this. It's very interesting. But in the House of Wisdom, we study everything at its seed. Okay, يعني من وين ابتدت؟ لأنه لما نفهم من وين ابتدت ما بيعود بحاجة يحللها psychologically ولا شيء. يعني أنا بصير عارفة من وين ابتدت. And it is said that, anybody heard of Noah? Does anybody know who Noah is? Noah? Noah? Okay, no. Okay. Noah, interestingly, after the flood, was told by the Creator that now beast will fear man. Okay, so beast, the animals, will fear man. But later on, man will fear the beast. Okay, يعني إنه هلا Noah's generation, the beast would fear them. But later on, man will fear the beast. And I want to make this very practical because رح تقولوا لي اوكي نوى واحد فقع سكرة على البيتش وراح وما بعرف حط كل شيء في حيوانات بقلب تخشيبه والقصه كلها مش ضابطه واوكي شيلونا من هيدي القصه بس there is actually something very important. Let me ask you a question. Do you fear the sea or does the sea fear you?
See?
البحر.
We feel the same.
You fear the sea. Do you fear nature or does nature fear you? انتبهوا فكروا بالسؤال كثير منيح. You fear nature because nature today is playing against you because of all the pollution. Do you fear animals or do animals fear you? You fear animals. But now think about it. If this was a just equilibrium, and if you are really, really environmentally friendly, I don't know why we're going to the environment, but if you're really environmentally friendly, and you are really doing your job in nature today towards your body, towards the creator, towards nature, who would fear who? Would nature fear you or would you fear nature?
I wouldn't fear nature because I know that I'm treating nature in the proper way.
Exactly. If you are someone who is just in your dealings, right? If you are just with other human beings, if you're just with the animal kingdom, if you're just with your environment, you wouldn't fear nature, right? So understanding that the seed of fear, okay, السيد تبع الخوف comes from your actions, your negative actions that you have committed. فهمناها؟ Huh? Fear towards anything comes from a negative action that you have committed. It opens the gate, right, for negativity to come in. Because if you are someone who is charitable, who is honest, who is hardworking, who every day puts the extra mile at work, there's no room for negativity to come in. You're the perfect employee, the perfect wife, right? There's no room for negativity to come in. I know this is controversial and it's going to give up rise to a lot of emotions. And we will go through this more deeply. The third and the final one is regret. Okay? Regret is very healthy. Everybody feels this. Ya Allah, ya ريت زبطت معي هيدي الشغلة.
Sorry, what's the real fear?
Sorry?
The third type of fear.
The real fear is they're the fear of death, the fear of sickness, and the fear of the
necessary.
no, sorry, the necessary fear was fear of fire.
Okay, so that's fire, and then real is death,
Sickness. Yeah. And necessary, sorry, guys, the necessary fear, أنا شو قصدي فيها يعني fear of fire, fear of drowning, fear, things that protect and preserve you, fear from jumping from here, right? All these necessary fears. Yeah? Okay.
Karma is a real fear or
Real.
Karma is a real fear, yes. Okay. All right. Now let's talk a little bit about regret. Regret is a feeling that really arouses remorse and sadness in us because of something we did not do. Okay? And I love this quote by the Rav that says, he used to say, regret is weakening today and weakening tomorrow. Right? Regret, living now in regret, is weakening the power and the strength of today, right? And it's by thus weakening your tomorrow. فهمناها? All right. So regret is this feeling that is necessary for us to have because of self-reflection, understanding ourselves, developing ourselves, بس منه something that moves you and propels you forward. Okay? And these are the three types of fears that you need to watch out this month. Because these will be the prominent type of emotions. هتقولوا لي okay, في مثلا fear that is positive, وفي love that is positive, وفي regret that is positive. النهم, right? Self-reflection is positive regret. Love, unconditional love is positive, right? Real fear is necessary, right? Okay. That's in the wrong place. All right, I'm going to allow Patricia to give you a little bit about the food, the exercise for the month to enhance. ما ضروري هلا تعملوهم الا اذا كثير بدكم. بتحط لكم tonight وبتورجونا مهاراتكم. All right, and then I'll continue.
Hey.
Hello.
So we're gonna start off by going over the foods that we can consume this month.
أنا أعطيك كده تقدري ما يعطيك سكويجي.
Alright. So as Jana was saying, we're all affected this month by the energy, regardless of what our sign is. So there's a certain list of food that we'd like to include in our daily intake. And we're going to start by mentioning the green stuff. Anything that is green, and we have a long list. Sorry. Okay. Quick note of the green foods: parsley, green beans, cauliflower, green onions, cabbage, broccoli, basil, kale, which is very powerful for the month, lettuce, leeks, green apples, spinach, anything that is green, the more the merrier. Okay? This is the first thing. Can I move on?
I'm just gonna write down the ones I like from that list. I'm just writing down the ones I like from that list.
Oh, okay. Good. Okay, so the first food category is the greens. The second one is the meats. It's very important to include meats for grounding, and it's preferable that our meat comes from lamb, sheep, goat, and oops, I have sheep twice. Cow. That's supposed to be cow.
Okay.
And not chicken and turkey. So let's leave those to be our meat sources. Second category is meat. Third category is actually fodder foods, and they're in season. They're cherries, plums, and peaches. Yes, they are good. And they're going to help enhance our happiness this month. So the more the merrier. Last category, anything that's pushy or squashy, like watermelons, melons, tomatoes, pumpkins, squash itself, pusa, and potato. Okay?
Cool.
Now, there are certain things that we'd rather avoid this month, and that will include fish. It's recommended that we stay away from seafood. If we are to consume seafood, it's better that we limit it to fish and not shrimps and clams and crab and lobsters and all the like. Okay? Another thing to avoid would be sugar and alcohol for this month of September.
Sugar and alcohol?
Sugar and alcohol.
Damn, that's my summer one.
It is. Okay, so we can switch this off for a bit.
Yeah, anyway.
Okay.
Patricia, what is that? What do you mean?
Because cancers have a very weak digestive system, and this energy is amplified, and sugar and alcohol are the worst for our system. So it's better
Why
to-
about the meats, like not fish?
Sorry?
Why about the meats? Why concentrate on
Okay, so we need the grounding energy of these animals, and chicken and turkey could be more helpful in other months. Helpful in other months.
Is it because they're birds?
I don't know the answer.
White meat actually. Chicken, fish, what was it? Red meat.
So, I'll explain it after.
Okay. So as I was saying, the cancers have an inability to digest. So meaning that the weak organ of the month is the abdominal area and the digestive system. And so we can take advantage of the month to work our core a little bit. And just a quick thing about the core exercises or abdominal exercises, they're much more powerful, they're much more effective once they engage other muscles, like the legs and the glutes at the same time, as opposed to doing classical crunches. The sit-up. Okay? So the recommended move for the month is, we'll turn this on, a hover, which we'll see in a moment. Okay, so this is called a hover. Actually, this is a hover with a hand reach because it engages 20% more of the lower abdominals. So as you can see, you support your weight on your forearms and on your toes. I will do a modified version of that in a bit. And what you have to do is tuck the glutes in, tuck the abs in, and your core is highly in contraction. Okay? So this is in terms of lower abdominals and general core. To add an extra challenge, you can move your arm forward. So how do we perform this? We challenge ourselves, we time ourselves. This is very important once you can once you reach fatigue. So the more tired you are, the more effective it is. So you stop when you're tired and when you're shaking, and then you take a break and then you do it again. Okay, this is move number 1. Move number 2, it's almost the same thing, but we're relying on our hands. And it's a crisscross mountain climber. So basically you're reaching your knee to your opposite elbow. This engages 10% more upper abdominals and 15 to 20% more obliques than any other core exercise.
Is there knee touching the ground or it should
It's
be?
touching the elbows. So opposite knee to opposite elbow. Right. If you want a very easy version of this, this is called an isometric move. If you want to hold it without moving. So for example, to reach the same results bit by bit, depending on our fitness level, all we have to do, I'm just going to do right here, is find a high surface, okay? Stand on our toes and move our body forward. So here what is being engaged? The abs. Oh, it's being contracted. So come in, now we can do this until we reach fatigue, until we get all shaky. We can take a break and then we do it again. And it's very important to strengthen our core in general, because it improves our posture, it decreases our risks of having lower back pain, and yeah, that's that.
Nutrition does it affect digestion as well?
Yes, of course,
Okay, yeah.
because it helps with mobility. So does stretching and any physical exercise in total. And another thing, well, one last exercise I'm going to show you is very, very simple. It's actually related to breathing. So when we breathe, we activate our abdominal muscles. So what we can do is simply exhale and tuck the tummy in. And we can really hold this for as long as we can. And then we'll breathe in and then we'll do it again. This strengthens our abdominal area and midsection, and we don't have to work out to do it. We'll still be increasing the muscles in that area. Okay? Any questions?
The breathing is through the nose, the mouth, or like
It doesn't matter, as long as you exhale,
You do
tuck
that
it in.
back.
Fully tuck it in. Alright, back to Jana.
All right, there's one thing which came up that in relation to the meat and why not chicken is again because water and air don't highly affect each other. Of course, everything has an effect, but they don't highly affect each other. Chicken and turkey are considered to be birdies, right? Some of them don't fly, but so why are we choosing meat? Meat is the ability to ground and lift you from depression, and it brings out that animal instinct in you to be a carnivore, to be a fighter, and that's why. Actually, everybody has their own thing when it comes to diet, and this is not a diet. If you notice, it doesn't tell you about quantities. It's just certain things that you can integrate in your month to help you elevate your consciousness and to help you actually have a better month. That's the idea behind that. Now, I don't know about the exercise, but في عنا شيء بالHouse of Wisdom ممنوع تعليم شيء that you don't practice. هيدا الشيء اللي نحن very clear about. This is the #1 condition of the teachers. So, I love SOULFIT, but honestly, trust me, core exercises are very difficult to do. يعني on Monday was our first day, I was like, لا الأفضل إني أتفرج. So it's challenging to do these core exercises. All right, let's go a little bit. The root of fear. So we understood that the root of fear comes from some of the actions that we do. That is what causes fear. Negativity opens the gates of fear, and most of us have fear of the unknown. Right? Now I want you to do a small exercise, and I want to show you what fear does for you. I want you to notice everything around the room. Take 30 seconds to notice everything around the room. Okay? And just notice what you see. Yeah? We're good? Okay? So now I want you to do a little exercise. I want you to do this. And I want you to focus on the nail of your thumb as much as you can. All right? And now, continue to do that and tell me how much of what you saw before can you see?
1%.
Yes.
Like
All right.
50%.
Okay, now you can take your hand off. Can you see the picture as when you were looking just normally? No. Right? It's a distorted image. You start to see everything blurry. This is what fear actually does to you. This is actually a scientific evidence proved that when you have fear of anything, be it a relationship, be it the elevator, be it a roller coaster, be it from an investment, be it from a soulmate, whatever it is, fear of a doctor, right? This is actually what you're doing to yourself. You're positioning yourself to look straight at your thumb and not see everything that's going around. All right? This is exactly what you're doing. Usually, according to science, if you are in a state of fear, can you tell me how much % of reality you see?
4%.
Nothing.
Huh?
Nothing.
You become delusional.
Okay? So a guess between 0 to 20.
5.
0.1.
0.
I like the answer of 0. That's the correct answer. In a state of fear, you can even create things that don't exist, right? To preserve and protect yourself. It's a paradox, huh? By the way. It's a really interesting paradox. In a state of fear, you protect yourself, right? So what do? I am scared of commitment. Okay? I am scared that all the men in the world are going to dump me. So what do? You don't date anyone. Isn't it a paradox? Right? It's exactly the same thing. Oh, I am scared of investing in a business and I have a fear of failure. All right, that's really good. You're not doing anything. Right? The paradox of fear is that it stops you and inhibits you from doing what you are meant to do. All right? In a newspaper study from Harvard University, they put a group of people like yourselves in a room and they wanted to test the theory of luck, which is not related exactly to fear, but I thought it was a very interesting study. And they gave people the newspaper and they said, count how many pictures does this newspaper have. Have you heard of this study?
No.
No. It's very interesting. I personally found it stupidly genius, right? So, and I love this term, stupidly genius, when something is so smart, it's so simple. So anyway, and these people were distributed newspapers, and they were asked to count how many pictures are in the newspaper to determine their rate of luck. So the more pictures you can see, the more lucky you are. It's the seeing of opportunities, right? So some people said 5, 6, 20, no. But the trick was, in the middle of the newspaper, it actually says, stop counting, this newspaper has 43 pictures. And no one saw it.
Wow.
And no one saw it. Because they were so focused that they need to count. Right? So, understanding that fear is not just something, بخاف شوي وهلا. No. It literally determines how you are interacting with the world. Okay. So, I want you to do something, an exercise, and I want you to write down 3 fears that you have right now, whether on your phone, on a piece of paper, if you need a pen or a paper, right? I want you to write down 3 fears. And there's one point that I want to talk about just before you move on, is that don't judge other people's fears.
Do we need to share them today?
No, you don't need to share them today, that's fine. But what you need to know is that you don't understand other people's fears. مش كل الناس عندها نفس المخاوف لنفس الأسباب. Okay? يعني أنا في أقول أنا بخاف من الإليفيتر وأنتوا تقولوا لي أف يا لطيف إليفيتر إنه شو هالقصة الكبيرة؟ But it is, for me, it is very rational. For me, I'm going to get into the elevator. I'm going to be stuck. I'm going to die in that elevator as far as, you know. Okay? All right. So I'm asking you, don't judge other people's fears. Just focus on yourself. All right? And write down 3 fears that you have. إذا بعد هيدا البروجيكتور بيعمل شيء. All right. Ready? Now what I'm going to ask you to do is that, you know, in the House of Wisdom there is meditations that we can do, right? That reveal fears that we don't know. This is actually one of the sounds, Yud, Het, Vav, that reveals any fears that you have hidden that you don't know of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this as a number 1. Okay, going back to your childhood years, can you remember one or few specific fears you had back then? So لما كنتوا صغار, and this constitutes 0 to 14, can you remember some of the fears that you had? Okay? Recall them. If you want to, you can write them down. Do you have any unexplained fears today? For example, avoiding certain areas, fearing certain animals with no apparent logical reason. Now I want you to tell me which of the body part mostly feels the fear. هلا حاعطيكم example. I feel the fear in my knees. My knees start to shake. Okay? There are people mostly, right, that, especially watchers, they feel the fear in their stomach. Their stomach becomes knotted, they have indigestion, they have problems, they overeat, they undereat. في شيء ببلش يصير بال 2 كيلومتر من الأمعاء, all right? Some people feel it in their heart. Okay, their heart starts to pound, their head starts to, عرفتي بيرتفع ضغطهم. All right. Some people feel it in their joints. By the way, this is,
I just wrote joints.
they start to feel it in their joints, right?
Can it change depending on the fear?
It changes on the extent of the fear, yes. All right? Now, what is the most current fear in your life? And now I want to talk about this. What is the fear you're going through now? The number 1 fear you're going through now. And dig deep, يعني ما تخلوها تحسوا شيء مثلا بخاف من الصرصور أو بخاف من الهيتس. Dig something in that is really something that you're scared of. All right? Now, I want you to pause for a minute, and we're going to do this meditation together. But I want you to really ask yourself, how does this fear stop you from achieving what you want in life? For now and in the future. Okay? لأنه انتبهوا, fear is something that is the Baal Shem Tov. This is very interesting. You know, he describes fear as 2 coins in front of your eyes. They stop you from seeing everything that's beautiful and make you focus on just these 2 coins that are in front of your eyes. So ask yourself, how is fear stopping you from living the life you want? Okay? And now I want you to rate this fear. Is it silly? Is it real? And is it necessary? يلا محل الماء مع شوية اتحرك الكوباية.
real, necessary, should
Is it silly? Is it real? Or is it necessary? All right, can I move on? Let me know if I cannot move on. Oh. Real fears are from the Creator, from the higher self, from the light, from your supernal consciousness, whatever you believe in. But real fear is from the Creator. The fear of karma, the fear of death, the fear of sickness. All of those things are banging signals at your door that you need to change, to awaken change. Okay? All right. فهمناها? All the rest of the fears ما لهم معنى. Not necessary, not real, and not anything that serves a purpose. Now, this is easy said than done, but I want to tell you something. In life, you have a choice. You can either be a slave to the emotion and be fearful, or you can rise above it. And I know that we are trained to believe in, ما أنا حسيت هيك. All right, I understand. I respect your emotions. Bottom line, they're not real. All right? Emotions are things that are accumulated thoughts over time that have now become more dense and shape up your reality. The same thing applies to phobia. Now, I want to discuss phobias and past life, for those of you who believe in past life. Okay, I understand. Fear of drowning, أنا غرقانة قبل بحياتي الماضية. Okay, أو أنا جربت إني انتحر، تقلت حالي، غرقت بمي، أو I've drowned myself in a bathtub. All of these things are fine. What purpose do they serve today? Zilch, right? And this is an invitation for you to understand that they have no purpose today. They truly have no purpose today. All right, so let's take a look at how to free ourselves from fear. Okay? So these are the practical tools, and then we're going to do a meditation together. But continuously strengthen our connection to our true and higher selves, the Creator, the light. Understand this. This is a process. You continuously have to do this. Every time you do this, you remove a layer of fear. Bottom line, this is the only way that you can remove fear. It's a choice. Every day that you make, okay, I am scared and I am going to push forward. I will tell you something personally about me. I don't know when or how I developed fear of heights. I really don't know how, right? I used to not have a problem with fear of heights. I went and lived a couple of years in England, and I lived in a village in England, actually. Oxford is like a village, right? ما في ولا بناية فوق الثلاث طوابق. Okay, it's really pathetic. I think they don't allow you to build anything higher than 3 floors. So for many years, maybe for 6 or 7 years, ما كان في شيء كتير عالي. So I went to China, and ببيجينغ أو شانغهاي ما بتذكر في هيدا الشيء اللي فوق الدوار اللي مثل تور ايفل بكل بلد في شيء كتير عالي. اوكي؟ بس هيدا الشيء بعدني بتذكر انه كان ارضه ازاز. Okay? وأنا I suddenly, this was the first instance, I was like, oh my God, I can't step here. I am so totally petrified. This is gonna break, I'm gonna fall, I'm gonna die. I could literally see myself, excuse me, but splatting all over the floor in China. Okay, and I'm like, they won't even notice because underneath you there's just so many Chinese people. And then I was like, okay, they're gonna have me for Chinese food. And all of these thoughts are going through my mind. Is it silly? Is it necessary? Is it real? You can tell me anything you want to tell me. لو كنتوا بتضووا لي العشرة أنا بقولكم أنا بالنسبة لي this was my reality. The fear was real. I wasn't gonna step on this glass. Okay? شو اللي بيضمن لي إنه أصلاً هيدا الجلاس it's real صناعة ما Chinese بيصنعوا very bad quality. Right? Every possible thought was going through my mind. Okay? خلص بالنسبة لي هيدا الشيء ما بيندعس. So literally that was the maximum I did. هي في مثل هيدا انا هون على كونكريت، هون الازاز، هيدا طلعت باي 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 باي.
Okay.
Okay? You want to share
But was
something?
that fear of heights or was that fear of death?
No, no, no. That thing was high. That glass was made by some Chinese people, and I don't trust that
I feel like
manufacturing.
that's
I was going to
dead.
splat all over the floor.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I was very scared.
Okay.
Okay.
Then وصلنا بعد كم سنة رحت على باريس and I'm like oh كله تور ايفل تور ايفل تور ايفل، ما بعرف ليه على دورة أو يمكن التيكت كان أرخص، ما بتذكر شو كانت القصة، طلعوا بهيدا الدرج، في درج بتطلعي له، ما بعرف ما بتذكر شو القصة، بس طلعي بهيدا الدرج. كان في حال اطلع بهيدا الدرج وانا شفت الشيء اللي صار تحت وعاوز خلص بدي انزل. ما في مجال نزلوني هلا، اوكي طير، صار بدي انزل عبر I was petrified, okay? I was like, this looks like an electrical thing. It's going to, now lightning is going to put it down. It was every possible thought. And then I was like, okay, this is going to continue to eat on me. And understand this. This is the reason why I'm telling you this story. Fear, if not addressed, gets worse with time. It creeps in slowly on you and eats your life away. Suddenly, ما عاد فيك تطلعي على خامس طابق. Suddenly, you don't want to go up in a high hotel, which is now perfectly fine. This building is perfectly safe, but for you, you don't want to be on a balcony. You don't want to look down. You know, it literally starts to eat. It's first 10 floors, now it's 9 floors. Now it's like بدي ضلني على الأرض وما بدي أطلع لفوق. Anyway, so during one of the summers, and not very much long ago, maybe 2 years ago, I went to those things that you go on بالأكوا park, right?
roller coaster.
لا مش رولر كوستر، ارحمينا شوي. هيدا الشيء اللي بتقعد فيه بالبالون بتنزل هيك، اوكي؟ alright, so أنا وصلت لفوق وشفت إنه تحتي في نزلة. I was like no. And then I was like, I came down. I was scared. To describe the story, I was scared. Okay? For you, this might be silly, but for me, I saw this is going to spin. It's not going to hit again. رح يفقع البالون. هيدا الشيء وزني ما وزني هيهدي البالانس. Everything. And then there was this choice that you have to make. Either this is going to rule the rest of my life, or I have to break this fear. And you have to literally go up and do it. And that was what I did. That was exactly what I did. I said, I'm going to go up there 3 times. One time, I'm going to do it with my eyes closed. The second time, I was going to open my eyes after I have fallen. And the third time, I was going to do it with my eyes open. And that was exactly what happened. Is it silly fear? Yes. Is it a rational fear? No. Right? It's not a rational fear. Yes, it can happen. Yes, the balloon can break. Yes, the roller coaster. Yes, هيدا اللي بالشانغهاي يمكن يكون عن جد إزازة صينية. ويس ممكن عن جد التقفية. But what's the probability? And the reality is, I'm trying to make it into a light story. We're in the month of Cancer. But the reality is, was I able to see the full view of Paris? No. Was I able to see the full view of Shanghai? No. Right? And years later, I still haven't been to those countries, and I probably will never be able to see those full views, right? In that moment that I was given the opportunity. So think, because today a fear is creeping in very slowly on you and is taking your life away. It's literally doing that. It's whether it's I have fear of asking someone, I have fear in the inzal, I have fear of rejection. We all have this. Fear of rejection, fear of being lonely, fear of being said no to, fear of someone, pushing me away. Think and address those things and write them down.
So the magical number is 3 times?
Sure.
The magical number is 3 times, and if you did one skydiving, it doesn't work, you have to do 3 times?
ملاك هلا اذا انت بالطياره وحدا دفشك اول مره مش كثير بتنحسب، يعني هيك اسمها دفشه، يعني مثلي انا نازله ومغمضه عيوني، عرفت؟ It doesn't count. The second time انه اوكي يعني صار هيدا. Third time is a charm. I don't know if it's 3 times, but you need to continuously do it until It's no longer a fear.
The same story happened with me. And then I'm with my friends, Joanna Mama, in the Euro Disney. Okay, so I didn't know there was like an Aerosmith, it's a rock band studio. I thought it was like you go sit in a wagon. It's gonna be like a normal journey into like a railway.
Right.
I'm afraid of heights and roller coasters. كمان نقدر إجري بسكو. So weirdly, what happened is that they closed the Karase and then they started hard rock music. And keep تقليعة الفراري from 0 to 300, let's say, in less than a second. البس هيك حسيته ورا. And then I said, okay, this is it. I'm gonna die. So I'm sad that I'm gonna die. خلصنا نزلت. I think I was like really drowsy, and then I said to my friends, I'm gonna do it again. And you get high on adrenaline, so ما خليت roller coaster ما طلعت عليه. And this is how the phobia went.
Absolutely. So, absolutely. Fear is something that you have to constantly do until it is no longer an issue. And it requires effort. It requires effort. Fear cannot exist when you have certainty and connection. Understand this. If you're certain in the outcome, you cannot have fear. If you are connected to your higher self, to the light, to the creator, you're fearless. All right? And to the point that you literally have total surrender, this total istislam, right? That whatever happens is the right thing for me. Now, these three tools, right? So beneath this, so the first one and the second one are very practical. These are more consciousness, right? Which have to do with fear cannot exist when you're certain. So asking yourself, am I certain? Do I know the outcome? Do I know why I'm doing this? Why is this coming to me? Ask yourself, why do I feel this fear? Okay? Don't overanalyze it in the past life or next life or don't overanalyze it. But what is it telling me? What is this fear telling me? Trust the process. Okay? Trusting the process. All right. Now we're going to do a little meditation together. But before we do this meditation, I want you to, and that's not Johnny Bleep, by the way, that's a template. He didn't say this.
Appleseed, Johnny Appleseed.
لأنه ما بشيله. All right? I trust the process of life. This is an affirmation that we can all say together, right? I trust the process of life. You want to do that?
Yes.
All right, let's go. I trust the process of life to bring me to my highest good. I make good choices. All is good, perfect, and complete. I deserve the best, and I accept the best. Yeah? Take a picture of this, because this is actually one of the tools for this month. Yeah? To help you, elevate you beyond the fears and your emotions and everything. Okay. So, what we're going to do is we're done? Can I switch this off?
No, 1 minute.
Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to have some light food and snacks, and for those of you who have questions related to this topic can come up to me and ask me, okay, so that we're not asking each other about all our fears. All right? And try to think more deeply, right? Beyond the roller coaster, beyond some hype. Try to think deeply of things that scare you, that keep you lonely, that keep you paralyzed, keep you from hiring people, keep you from asking for help, keep you from traveling, keeping you from risk-taking, keeping you from buying a house, from buying a car, right? Those things that are real. Please ask me about them. Let's have some food and drink, and then we're going to come back, do a meditation, and then we can go home. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right. الأكل هنيك.
S'il est vraiment, si tu as senti, il est vraiment sérieux. Il vous a sous-estimé, underestimé. إياها توتالي بالشغل عنها. Sport, يعني
me by dimming the lights, please? dim them خلاص dim them. Let the breath out. نفس بعمق. طلعوا النفس. One more time. بعد مرة. Very slowly. Relax in your chair. Relax your feet. رخوا رجليكم. Feel your toes relaxing. Feel your ankles relaxing. Feel your knees relaxing. Feel your hips relaxing. Move with your body. حركوا جسمكم بطريقة ترتاحوا بالقعدة. Feel your stomach relaxing. Feel your chest relaxing. Relax your arms. Relax your elbows. Relax your hands. Gently relax your neck. Relax your mouth. Open your mouth. And then close it in a relaxing position. Relax your nose. Relax your eyes. Relax your forehead. Relax your scalp. Now imagine water washing over you from your head to your toes. Pure, temperature perfect water. Take a moment and enjoy as the water washes over you. Massage your head. Shift your shoulders. Wiggle your hips. Stay in that moment as you take a deep breath in and you release. Taking a deep breath in and you release. نتنفس نفس عميق. نطلع. While the water is pouring on you, recall one of your fears. Knowing that you're in the safe arms of nature. Water is gently pouring on you. And you are enjoying its temperature, you're enjoying nature. Recall one of your fears. Recall what triggers it. Try to remember what happens before you get scared. Recall why are you scared? And envision what are the effects of the fear you have. slowly start to ask your questions in a joking way to yourself while you're playing with the water and while the water is still cleansing you. Ask yourself, is this fear logical? Is this fear really possible? And most importantly, even if it does happen, is it going to stop me from pursuing what I want? Very slowly, Accept its possibility. Accept its possibility. And move on. See the silly fear as a silly fear. And challenge your rational mind to see it as silly. Challenge your rational mind to see the fear as silly. Through the steps of, is it certain? Is it possible? And can I do anything about it? See the necessary fears as hindrances on your path to growth and fulfillment. And see the real fears as catalysts for change. See the fears, the real fears, as a call for you to embrace your life. Surrender to the water. Allow it to wash away all the silly fears. Asking the light or your higher self to wash away any irrational, silly fears. Feel your body become lighter. Lighter and lighter, lighter. Slowly taking a deep breath in. Leave all your fears behind and walk away from the infinite, abundant waterfall. And take a look around you. at the infinite blessings of nature and its power. Walking barefoot in the forest, grounding yourself, you begin to feel mighty and strong. Being thankful to this moment, you start taking a deep breath in. And feeling your body. Feeling your feet. Feeling your ankles. Feeling your knees. Releasing the tension in your hips. Now place your hands together, not just in meditation, but in actual real life. And in the instance that you feel the pulse between your hands, you feel as if your heart is between your hands. Place your hands on your abdomen. And send yourself all that love, all that acceptance, all that mercy, and all that power to embrace reality, to be stronger, to see clearly. Keeping your hands on